It's crazy how you can give your all to someone and still end up feeling like you were never enough. You thought she was the one, didn't you? The way she looked at you, the way her eyes seemed to promise forever, the way her voice made you feel like maybe, finally, you were home. For a while, you believed in that feeling with everything inside you. You gave your time, your heart, your energy, every piece of you that you thought could make her stay. You imagined a future with her, you saw her in your plans, and you believed that love, your kind of love, was enough to keep it alive. But somewhere in the quiet moments, when things should have felt peaceful, there was always a small ache, a whisper telling you something wasn't right. It was like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how hard you tried, it kept slipping through your fingers. You kept thinking, maybe if I just love harder, maybe if I just do more, maybe then she'll see me. You started doubting yourself. Maybe I'm not exciting enough. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm too much, or maybe I'm not enough. But the truth, brother, is that it was never about you lacking anything. You showed up with pure intentions, with a heart ready to build something real. She just didn't have the depth to meet you there. Some women don't fall in love with a man, they fall in love with the reflection of themselves in his eyes. They fall in love with the idea of being adored. And when that feeling fades, when the performance ends, they take off the mask, and you finally see the truth. She never loved you. She loved how you made her feel loved. She loved your attention, not your soul. In the beginning, it felt like something out of a dream. Every time your name popped up on her phone, her face lit up. She'd laugh at your jokes, stay up late talking, and make you feel like the world stopped when it was just the two of you. You thought it was connection, that unspoken magic when two souls recognize each other. But what you didn't see right away was that her light wasn't coming from within, it was reflecting yours. She didn't crave your heart, she craved the feeling of being desired. She fed on your attention like it was oxygen. Every compliment, every text, every good morning and good night filled a void she couldn't face alone. You were giving her something she couldn't give herself, validation. And when that validation became familiar, it lost its thrill. Slowly, the warmth you once felt turned cold. Her replies got shorter, her tone distant. You noticed the spark fading, but you kept trying to reignite it, thinking you'd done something wrong. The truth is, brother, she was never connecting with you, she was chasing the high of being wanted. Once that high faded, she started pulling away, not because you changed, but because her interest was never built on depth. When a woman truly loves you, she cherishes your silence as much as your words. She doesn't need constant attention to feel secure. But when she only loves the spotlight you shine on her, the moment you dim that light, she disappears into the dark. And that's what hurt the most, not that she left, but that you realized she was never really there. She loved your gaze, your devotion, your effort, but never your soul. She wanted to be chased, not chosen. There's a difference most men never see until it's too late. From the start, she made you feel like she was worth every effort, every gesture, every late-night message and grand apology. And you, with your loyal heart, believed that chasing her was proof of your love. You thought that persistence meant passion, that showing up no matter how many times she pulled away meant you were proving your worth. But brother, some women don't crave love, they crave the feeling of being pursued. The chase makes them feel alive. It makes them feel desired, powerful, in control. To them, it's not about connection, it's about conquest. The moment they realize they have you, the thrill dies. Suddenly, the attention they once begged for feels suffocating, and the stability you offer feels boring. That's why she grew distant when things got calm, why she started arguments when everything seemed fine. She needed the chaos, the tension, the uncertainty. Peace made her restless. You weren't too safe or too simple, you were genuine, and she didn't know how to handle that. So she sabotaged it, not because she wanted to hurt you, but because she only knew how to feel love through instability. It's a painful truth, but she never wanted to be chosen. Being chosen meant the game was over, and without the game, she didn't know who she was. So she pushed you away just to feel the pull again. And you kept chasing, thinking you could fix it, not realizing she was addicted to the attention, not the affection. The more you proved your love, the less she valued it. Because to her, the thrill of the chase was love, and once you stopped running, so did her heart. She never matched your effort, only your mood. Think back to how it always played out. When you pulled away, she suddenly became warm again, calling, texting, showing interest like before. But when you gave your heart openly, when you tried to love her deeply, she grew cold, distant, uninterested. It was like her affection ran on a switch that only flipped when she feared losing your attention. Her love was never consistent, never grounded. It was reactive. She didn't love you through choice, she mirrored you out of necessity. When you were strong, confident, and calm, she admired you. But the moment you showed vulnerability, the moment you needed understanding instead of validation, she withdrew. Her love wasn't about building a foundation, it was about maintaining control. You started to notice patterns. She was affectionate only when you were slipping away, kind only when she feared your silence, soft only when she wanted something. And when you confronted her about it, she made you feel like you were imagining things. That's what emotional confusion does, it makes you doubt your own perception. You kept holding on because every time you tried to leave, she'd come running back, saying all the right things. But she didn't come back for you, she came back for the feeling of being wanted again. She missed the validation, not the bond. You see, real love is steady. It grows quietly. It doesn't demand constant proof. But what she offered was emotional whiplash, a cycle of highs and lows designed to keep you guessing. You mistook her inconsistency for passion, but it was just instability. She wasn't there to build with you, brother. She was there to mirror your energy, and when you ran out of it, so did her love. She tested you to feel in control. Every silent treatment, every ignored message, every time she pulled away right when things started feeling close, it wasn't random. Those moments were carefully crafted to see how much power she held over your emotions. She wanted to know if you'd chase her, if you'd beg for her attention, if you'd crumble when she withdrew. The truth is, a woman who's connected to your soul doesn't need to play with your peace to feel secure. But she wasn't seeking connection, she was seeking control. You'd notice how she'd go cold after a night of closeness, almost like she couldn't handle genuine affection. It scared her because love, to her, wasn't about trust, it was about dominance. Every time you tried to prove your loyalty, she'd move the goalpost. Every time you thought you passed her test, she'd create another one. It wasn't about you doing something wrong, it was about her fear of losing the upper hand. And that's the thing about people who crave control, they can't relax in love because love requires surrender. So, instead, she tested you to keep herself feeling powerful. The more you reacted, the more she fed off it. Your silence threatened her because it exposed the truth, she never had real control. She only had influence because you gave her your peace in exchange for her approval. The moment you stopped explaining yourself, stopped chasing her validation, she panicked. That's why she'd reappear with sweetness, pretending everything was fine, only to pull away again later. Her gain depended on your reaction. But the second you saw through it, the illusion crumbled. She wasn't testing your love, brother, she was testing how much of yourself you were willing to lose just to keep her. She was there for the sunshine, not the storm. You can always tell who truly loves you by how they show up when life stops being easy. When things were good, she was radiant, smiling, laughing, proud to stand beside you. She loved the version of you that was winning, the one who had energy to give and strength to share. But the moment life got heavy, when you were tired, uncertain, or struggling, her warmth faded. She started saying things like, "I just need space," or "You've changed," when in truth, she just couldn't handle seeing you without your armor. She didn't fall in love with your soul, she fell in love with your light, and when that light dimmed, her affection disappeared with it. The first sign of difficulty exposed the truth, she was never there to build with you, she was there to bask in what you built. You might have thought she'd be your calm through the storm, but instead, she became another wave crashing over you. When your world began to fall apart, she didn't stay to hold it together. She vanished, leaving you to face the silence alone. And that silence was the real lesson, it showed you that love based on convenience has no roots. She called her absence self-care, but deep down, you knew she just couldn't feed off your light when you were standing in the dark. Real love doesn't vanish when things get hard. The woman meant for you will see your brokenness and still choose you. She'll sit with you in the fire, not because it's easy, but because she's connected to who you are, not what you have to give. Her leaving wasn't your failure, it was proof that her love was never real. She never brought peace, only confusion. You know that feeling when your heart's racing but not from excitement, from anxiety? That's what being with her became. Every time you tried to talk about something real, it somehow flipped into your fault. You'd start a calm conversation and end up apologizing for things you didn't even do, just to stop the argument. You began to walk on eggshells, second-guessing your tone, your words, your timing. You told yourself you were just keeping the peace, but deep down, you knew there was no peace to keep. The relationship became a loop of tension disguised as passion. One moment, she was loving and tender, the next, distant and cold. You mistook the chaos for intensity, thinking, maybe this is just how love feels when it's real. But love isn't supposed to drain you, brother. It's not meant to make you question your worth. The constant confusion you felt was your intuition screaming that something was off. Real love brings clarity, even in conflict. It doesn't make you feel small or silenced. With her, every apology felt like a surrender, every conversation like a battlefield where your peace was the casualty. You started blaming yourself for the instability she created, thinking if you just loved her better, she'd stop hurting you. But that's the trap, she conditioned you to believe that love required losing yourself. The truth is, love should calm your spirit, not make it restless. The woman meant for you won't weaponize your emotions or make you feel like you're too much. She'll listen, understand, and protect your peace. What you had wasn't love, it was manipulation wrapped in affection, chaos dressed as chemistry. You weren't crazy, brother. You were being controlled by confusion. She saw your heart and used it. She saw how kind you were, how genuine your intentions were, how deeply you could love, and instead of valuing that, she took advantage of it. She studied your patterns, the way you forgave quickly, the way you always tried to make things right even when it wasn't your fault. She learned your limits, then pushed them until you didn't even recognize yourself anymore. You kept giving, thinking that eventually she'd see your loyalty and match it. But she never did. The more you gave, the more she expected. She didn't love your heart, she loved how easily she could access it. And that's the cruel part, you thought your softness would inspire her to love better, but it only made her feel powerful. She knew your empathy made you stay through pain that should have made you walk away. You thought love meant enduring, sacrificing, holding on through every storm. But what you didn't see was that she was using that endurance to drain you. Every time she hurt you and you forgave her, she learned you'd do it again. And instead of appreciating your grace, she grew bolder in taking advantage of it. She used your love like a safety net, secure enough to fall into, yet disposable enough to take for granted. But brother, your kindness wasn't the problem. It was just given to the wrong person. Don't let her change that part of you. Let her betrayal remind you to protect your heart, not close it. The love you gave wasn't wasted, it was a lesson. You learned that not everyone deserves your softness. Some people come into your life to teach you boundaries, not love. And her biggest mistake was thinking your heart was weakness when it was your greatest strength. You didn't lose love, you lost an illusion. One day, when the pain softens and the memories don't sting as much, you'll look back and realize she was never your soulmate. She was a mirror, showing you everything inside yourself that needed healing. Her presence revealed your capacity to love, but her absence will reveal your strength to rise. You'll understand that her leaving wasn't punishment, it was redirection. The universe was never taking something from you, it was clearing space for something real. Because a man who's been broken that deeply doesn't come back the same. He comes back wiser, calmer, more grounded in who he is. You'll stop chasing validation and start choosing peace. You'll no longer beg to be seen because you'll finally see yourself. The right woman won't need to be convinced, she'll feel your energy, your steadiness, your depth, and she'll stay. Not because of what you give, but because of who you are when you're at peace. You'll learn that real love doesn't demand that you shrink. It expands you. It allows you to breathe, to rest, to grow without fear of being too much. The pain that once broke you will become the foundation of your strength. Her goodbye will no longer echo as rejection but as release. You'll thank her one day not for the hurt, but for the awakening. Because without her, you might never have realized how powerful your heart truly is. So if you've made it this far, say it out loud: I see the truth. That's your declaration that you're done chasing illusions, done pouring into the ungrateful, done mistaking chaos for love. You've risen, brother. And the man who stops giving his soul to the wrong women becomes unstoppable.